Chelsea Nettleton, owner and founder of Sea Spot Walk. We're focusing more, we used to do boarding and sitting, and we're focusing more on doggy walks, drop-in visits, and then also customized pet nutrition through forgive me, this will be really good. I want feedback at the end, because this will be actually the first time we've really pitched this. It is in progress, we're already doing the job, so I'm excited about that. So how many of you guys have dogs? How many of you guys know somebody that has dogs? How many of you guys, either your friends' dogs or your dogs, are crazy nutso when you get home at night? That are running around, or they're jumping on you, or whatever. The next couple, how many do they look like this? Or maybe a little like this? Maybe this?
Yeah.
Maybe this? Apparently to be crazy, your tongue has to be out. Or that's my favorite one. You get home and the dog's out, they go crazy. How many would you prefer your dogs to look like this when you get home? Or this? Oh, I forgot the lighting, you can't really see him. I'm obviously partial to the White Shepherd that I have on a frequent basis. So basically, Sea Spot Walk, we initially were called Pet Life Lovers LLC, and through some wise advice and some wise guidance from Zach and some other business advisors, we decided, like I said, to step away from doing boarding and house sitting, boarding and pet sitting at our home. Turn it into more walks and drop-in visits, because I can't tell you how many times when I tell people what I do, they're like, when are you available? I need my dog needs exercise. He comes home and he's nuts, or he's out of his kennel because he's just bored. So we found that the need was pretty great, and we are trying to fill that need. We're based out of Virginia Beach right now. We have a lot of plans in place to develop it into potentially later down the road a national brand. We want to bring on other walkers. I mean, there's other companies out there like that, and I actually started with one. I don't want to say good or bad about it. I just it got me started in the business, and then I realized there's some things about it that I didn't care for, and so I decided I wanted to have a little more say in how it's run. But one of the main things being how the walkers and what the pet sitters are treated. Giving incentives, giving things that make them want to stay with you, and so that you're taking part of their earnings, but it's worth it to them. I have been doing drop-in visits, and like I said with the other companies since July. I have been doing dog walks since I was 5, so I'm very familiar with all different kinds of breeds. I have a little Shih Tzu right now, and then I also have a Great Dane that I walk, so it varies. I've never walked them together. I don't think that'd be a good idea, but maybe someday. That's kind of the gist of it. We can work around the client's schedule. I have some that I do drop-ins for, like this weekend I've got some that I do drop-ins for twice a day for the weekend, and then I won't see them again for maybe another couple months. I've got one that I go 5 days a week to take the puppy out because she's a 5-month-old Australian Shepherd, and she needs to be worked out, otherwise they won't have new shoes left. So we are actually currently bringing my husband on full-time, hopefully within the next month, because the need is becoming so great that I don't have time. It originally started out as a part-time thing just to bring in a little bit of extra income, because I love animals and I needed some extra cash because, well, we have bills, and suddenly realized maybe I can actually do this full-time. So that's kind of where this started, and then we started realizing my husband could come in, and then I've actually got a couple people lined up that when we get more of the business model set up and laid out, we're going to be bringing on some other walkers from there. So I'm probably missing a whole bunch of information or stuff that you guys might want to know that I'm skipping over. So I'm just going to open it up to questions.
You mentioned drop-in and dog walk. Is that the same thing, or is it different?
They can be the same thing. A lot of times I will do like I do. The typical thing is a 30-minute drop-in / walk. So I'll drop in, make sure they have water, make sure they have food. We'll take the dog out for the walk for the remainder of the time. Some dogs are old enough that they don't really need a walk; they just need love. They just need to be pet and make sure that their water bowl's full or whatever. Usually it's a combination though.
Ooh,
Well, I don't remember.
I'll jump in. What did I help you with?
What's that?
What did I help you with?
So like I mentioned, we were doing pet sitting where the owners would bring their dogs to my house and we would watch them overnight. And we were charging $30 a night through this other company that we're working with. I don't know why I'm waving my hands. I must be. So we were originally doing that, and by sitting down to talk with Zach, realized that it very much is not worth that. And we figured out that if we're doing, walks consistently, we don't need to be doing the boarding, and we'll end up bringing in more revenue, more profit, and grow a lot easier that way. Oh gosh, you helped me with so many things. Besides sanity while we're getting this set up. Oh, we're in the process of raising a little bit of capital. Thankfully, it's fairly small startup because it's tennis shoes and shorts. But we are in the process. Like I said, we used to be Pet Life Lovers. Realized that we kind of needed to do some rebranding, which Zach was a part of. And then my husband and a good friend of ours actually came up with the C-Spot Walk, which we loved right off the bat. So we're in the process of changing the business name to that. We're in the process of, like I said, raising capital, getting a few investors involved. That was a big one that you helped with. All the videos, the executive summary, like all those different things. So we are a 1004 Touch member. Proud to say it, so that's been extremely helpful.
Yeah, do you do any kind of like acclimation or introduction to dogs before you show up to somebody's house and like
Yes.
nobody there?
Yes. Yeah, we typically do at least one, I call it a meet and greet, where they can come to my house if they want. I mean, with boarding, they used to come to mine with their dogs and, they smell around and all that. Now that we're doing the walks and the drop-ins, we'll go to their place and make sure that the dog's not going to eat us. A lot of times what's cool is at least, now my husband hasn't experienced this yet because he hasn't been doing this full time, but with me, a lot of times I'll walk in and the dog will come right over, and it's not because I have treats, I swear I don't bring treats with me everywhere. But the dog will usually come over. I just feel like they kind of know when they've met a person that loves dogs. So a lot of times the owner's like, oh, be careful, no, never mind, I'm just kidding. Okay, well, you're hired. So.
Do you call that dog tuition?
Yes. Can I coin that? Or is Gary coin that? Dog tuition. But yeah, so we do a meet and greet beforehand. Sometimes we'll do two if the dog is really kind of, just needs a little extra. I've got a gal right now that she's a very sweet dog, but she is still getting used to me. So we gave it 2 meet and greets. And she's warming up. So yeah, as much as the dog needs them, that's for free.
Okay, I heard you talk about the service, and I think it's phenomenal. And my husband's a stay-at-home husband, so I don't need a service like that. But my dogs do go crazy when I walk in anyway. And I have 4, so I'm a big dog lover.
Nice.
But do you see yourself, you talk about your business plan, and obviously you're making some changes and turning it into a more serious model. Is there an opportunity for business for you to go into training, canine training, or house training that little puppy and things of that nature? Do you see your business being able to take on the additional roles?
Yes. I'm so glad you mentioned that. I was talking with Bo earlier about so our main thing is the dog walks and the drop-in visits. We also do basic grooming. Sorry, I'm laughing at the dog here. We also do some basic grooming. My husband and I both want to get trained, like to be actual dog trainers through a training company or through a company that trains. Something else. Oh, I forget our pet nutrition. But yeah, the training is a big one, and I would eventually like to offer like my walkers down the road, either reduced tuition or that kind of thing to give them incentive, and that way they're not just dog walkers, they're also trainers. Or, I like diversity within, a certain scope. So I would love to offer that and myself,
Just curious about your pricing. So if I needed you 2 days a week, maybe once a day versus on a particular vacation for a week, and I need you twice a day, do you have scaling of prices based on how much work you do for somebody?
Yeah, so a lot of times I'll give a discount if it's a, either somebody that's with me regularly, like every week, it's 2 times a week. We'll work out something where it's not, not the initial flat one-time rate, drop it down by a couple bucks, or, if it's a week-long vacation. It also depends on the distance. I mean, because right now, like, we have a small radius, that's why I'm looking forward to bringing out the walkers. So when that's a thing, the distance won't matter, and we'll give like package deals, or hey, you have 50 visits with us in a year, as a package deal. I mean, there's a lot of variety that we want to add to it, but yeah, that's something we'll base on the situation.
Are you actively looking for dog walkers? I'm not looking for a job, I'm just curious.
No, you're good. I am taking information from people, because we're truly hoping that, like, within the next 6 months to a year, we'll be bringing on some more walkers. I mean, if it goes as fast as it's been going.
Next door, I see kids, high school kids begging, like, hey, I want to walk dogs for
Yeah,
the summer.
yeah.
I just wonder, is that how you're, like, creeping on people and finding people?
I like to pick on it. High school, college, the only thing that's hard about those is when you think of dog walking, you think, oh, it's not a big deal, because I'm just gonna go get some dog. But you're also going into their house, so there has to be background checks, there has to be some source of, compliance, there has to, what I mean, like, something that tells the owner, because like I have a background check through the other company that I was doing, and so that part we're kind of figuring out as we go. But yes, I would love to target like college and high school so they can work around their school schedule, and that's important to me, so.
Where do you find most of your customers right now?
Let's see. Pay for it. A lot of it's word of mouth. I actually have found 2 or 3 of them through my Facebook page. So it's
Yeah.
kind of varied.
Cool.
And honestly, like, we haven't put out any marketing material yet. We haven't even had a chance to because we don't have the manpower yet.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to do. We are planning on doing like flyers at apartment complexes and
Mhm.
things like that.
Cool.
I keep missing you. Sorry.
So you said you started off that this was kind of just a make extra money.
Yeah.
At what point did you decide that you could do full time?
When I kept getting the requests, and I realized that I was, so what I do for my day job is medical transcription. When I started realizing that I didn't have enough time to type because I was out walking or dropping in and visiting dogs, it literally was kind of one of those things that I realized I don't have time to do my other job. I'm so busy with this one, and I like it way better because I'm not sitting at a computer anymore, and I'm up moving around. So it kind of was almost unconscious until I realized one day, hey, let's do this full time. So I don't know if that helps, but that answers your question.
Dog walking in the future, stuff about doing an app, or is there one?
I desperately want to do an app. We're not doing that as part of our capital to start with, because I know that will take us from, what I feel like is a realistic amount right now to, that makes me really, really nervous to raise that kind of capital. Maybe I'll get better at that, but I would love to.
Is there an existing app for dog walking?
There is for the specific services.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would love to have like interactive. I would love to have the booking and then a map. So you can see like kind of a live monitoring. So you can watch your dog. Like my dog is getting walked. So.
All right, great job.